Yeah, I think it's a, well, I know it's a, you know, my stance is simply a principle stance. And, you know, you're going to have people that understand it and respect it. And you're going to have my critics who, you know, want to write about it and say, oh, and all of a sudden have this cloud of suspicion. But, you know, they're entitled to be suspicious and write what they want to write and think what they want to write. They're entitled to do that. Like, they have that right. I think before they do that, they should, you know, do their homework, check my track record. You know, I've been the same way and been putting on the same type of performances since I've been 17 years old. You know, I turned open senior at 165. Went to the Olympics at 178, was still 170. Turned pro in 2004 at 165, went down to 160. Now I'm back to 68. There's been no spike in my performance or something where you scratch your head and say, wow, I've never seen this before. So I think before they write and just kind of take that top water bait that Rodriguez and his team put out, they should just, you know, give me a little credit and just kind of check the track record. If anybody's had a spike in performance, and I'm not accusing him, but I'm saying if anybody has, it's been him, his last couple fights. So, but that being said, it's very simple. You know, this kid asked for a lot in negotiations that was publicized, from the money to other things. You know, he signed with Al Heyman, and I think he kind of got beside himself once he did that in negotiations, and just started demanding and asking for stuff, and you know, but it was just funny that the drug testing never came up one time, and then all of a sudden at the press conference, he brings it up, and he brings it up in a kind of way where, you know, it's almost like he's trying to set up question or some type of ace card he wants to use. And, you know, my response was simple. I have no problem throwing random blood in urine testing, but it's going to be done the right way. And when I have an opportunity to, you know, to ask the questions that I need to ask from Margaret, I've already talked to USADA a while ago, and you know, I like what USADA's doing, you know, but everybody knows it's very expensive, and even Vada, you know, they're expensive. But, you know, the bottom line is once we do it, we're going to do it the right way. I'm not going to be guilted into doing it. I'm not going to be pressured into doing it. I'm not, you know, and I just think Rodriguez needs to understand at this level, it's the highest level he's ever been at, probably the most interviews he's ever had. People are in this kid's ear telling him to say certain things. He was put up to do that at the press conference. He sounded like he was reading off of a cue card when he asked that question.
He did.
And he needs to think for himself, because when he was pushed on the matter, he doesn't really have the response that he should have, because he didn't think it all the way through. He's taking orders and he's following through with them. And this is the same guy that told everybody that I needed him more than he needed me. This is the same guy that said the fight was dead, it's not going to happen. And it's the same guy who called me a dirty fighter, but his fight before his last fight got 2 points taken away for intentional foul. So this kid is liable to say anything with a camera in his face or with a microphone in his face, and that's been his track record leading up to this fight. So, you know, this is a principle stance, and unfortunately people can feel about it the way they want to feel about it. But I feel like if you're really serious about this, you would do it the right way. He was serious about asking for that money, but all of a sudden, Vada was never brought up in the 2 months that we negotiated, and I think that's a question that when he's asked, he can't answer directly. He starts talking in circles. This is simple. Why didn't you ask about this at the proper time? Because you didn't think about it. You were told right before the press. And he brought up some stuff about when we called Virgil. I don't know who that we is, and I don't know who talked to Virgil or whatever, but at the end of the day, I make the final decisions on my team. And furthermore, I haven't seen any emails or this, that, and the other. So all of that stuff is just these conspiracy theories that really take away from the fight. This isn't about Vada. This isn't about any of that stuff. This is about me and him. This is about my return, and this is about me defending my title. This is what this fight is about.